Hi and welcome to this reading. Now I've got beautiful morning sun coming in on this reading, and when I was given the push to do this reading this morning, it was 7:43. So we've got a 7 and a 7 because a 4 and a 3 adds up to a 7. Now I've tried multiple times to light my candle and it keeps going out, but that's the third time. It's still lit. Because I can hear it crackling. It's still lit. It hasn't quite gone out yet. And I don't know whether you can see, but I've got a crystal pendant hanging from the window, but there's a blue light just hovering around the candle. Now, let me get rid of all of the little spits and spots from the candle. When I was lighting the candle, these were the first matches that came out. I've got a big one and this tiny, look, it's about to break, this tiny, tiny, tiny little one, and they were kind of stuck together. Some sort of symbology of or whatever message is coming out in this reading. I'm actually going to pop it there. The other thing I want to show you is, and I've never noticed before, but within a matchbox, and I am all about the symbols, the messages that you get through random symbols. If you can see, hopefully inside the matchbox, it says the 12th of the 12th, 2023. The 12/12 portal, 2023. And then we've got 182505. Those numbers might be symbolic for you. Obviously, these matches, and it's still a light. These matches came out from this matchbox. Redhead, something to do with matches. 23rd, 2023, the 12th of the 12th, 2023. So that's the 12th of December. And then we've got the 25th. See, I read that as the 20th, because we're in May at the moment. I read that as it's the 8th of May today. The 25th of the 5th, which would be the 25th of this month. Now, a 2 and a 5 is a 7, so we've got that 7 reference again. But it's 1825. 182505. I'm just going to leave that there for somebody. That'll be a message for somebody. So I'm going to get you an angel first before I start this reading, just to see. There we go. Number 20, protection and guidance on your spiritual journey. What wants to come out there? Number 30, Omiel, heals depression and impatience. Interesting. This angel is aligned with the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is Neptune in Libra. There's a balance coming. The message that I was getting prior to this reading is, I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Now that's a verse from Joel 2:25. It's about your spiritual inheritance is the other channeled message that I was receiving. Now, 2:25. 2 and a 5 is a 7. So again, we've got that 7/7 reference. Something that you lost is going to be returned to you. Something that you were offered, tiny, tiny, is going to be returned to you. And that candle is still alight. So whatever this gift is that's being returned to you, it's been sitting there. It hasn't gone altogether. It's just been sitting there, almost lying dormant, waiting to be returned. We've got this beautiful light. This is the stand for my phone, if you're wondering what that is. But that might be of significance to you as well. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. A bit about me first. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on messages prior to the reading, and I just saw in my mind's eye The Knight of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn is your karmic teacher. There was potentially a heap of lessons that your soul signed up for in this lifetime that were part of something that was taken away from you. And there were lessons within what was taken. And once you learned those lessons, because we've got protection and guidance on your spiritual journey, it's part of your spiritual journey to learn those lessons. And then once you've learned them, what's taken will be returned. I just heard twofold. Twofold. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out. So that is Joel 2:25. I will give you back, oh, there we go. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Elevation. That's a U2 song. That's that song in, I'm just thinking about when it comes on my random shuffle in Spotify. That song, the little video that plays over and over, like that just repeats, I don't know what it's called, is 2 people in an elevator. Elevation. You're going up. Now, let's have a look at this card, because I will give you back 7 times what you lost. What you lost. What you didn't get. What you got a no for. What you were trying to achieve but didn't happen. The setbacks, the pushbacks. You can't have that. You can't do this. And the reason why is because you were meant to get them. It was all part of your spiritual journey. It was all part of the elevation of your soul. You were meant to get the no. And it probably was extremely frustrating, as much as trying to light that candle this morning was extremely frustrating. I've changed the wicks that I use to these kind of, I can't even describe them. They're like a long, flat piece of wood. And I thought, yeah, that'd be great. And so I went ahead and pre-made all of these. I've got these beautiful antique teacups. And I like to make my own candles. Now, I don't tell stories. There's obviously a relevance in them. I spent all this time and effort making all of these candles. I created the fragrance that I wanted within them so that I could really align with what I want to pull through in terms of the messages for my readings. I wanted this beautiful calm space, only to find out that they don't light properly and they don't stay alight and they don't give that beautiful kind of flame, which I like when you're looking at the visual of the reading. So I got to know. But part of the lesson within that for me is that, well, I learned not to use those again. I won't buy them again. But there's been lots of messages that have come through the sound of the flickering of that particular wick that have been relevant to the message. So I was meant to use them. I was meant to, pull matches out where you get one big one and one small one. It's almost like, when somebody, I'm imagining 2 kids standing at a bench and their mum has bought their favorite drink, and you see those 2 kids and they've got the 2 glasses there and one's measuring and they're trying to get it equal. Well, life isn't equal. Sometimes you get the tiny serve instead of the big serve. Sometimes your favorite drink in the fridge, you go out and you think, oh yeah, I'm going to have a glass of that, only to find out that somebody else has drunk the last bit of it. There's been some no's in your life. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Joel 2:25. But this card, which is where I was going before I went off on my tangent. When I'm sitting here in the, it's the winter sun that's coming through. It's the winter sun that's coming through the window. You may have thought that it was winter, but the winter sun underneath the table, I've got my feet sitting in it and it's warming my feet. This is a no. but on. Is the light off, which is the no, or is the light on, which is a yes? I just heard your frown is about to be turned upside down. I'm going to put that there. Okay, let us get an energy for, oh, there we go, the Knight of Pentacles. That was the card that I said in my mind's eye. I saw the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Five of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. We've got the Queen of Cups. I'm going to pop these here. The Hermit. The Hermit is a spiritual journey. Protection and guidance on your spiritual journey. The Hermit card is number 9. The Five of Wands is about competition. It's about somebody taking something that you were fighting for. And the Queen of Cups is Neptune in Libra. It's spiritual balance, but it's tapping into your intuition. And the Three of Pentacles. I'm just going to get some information on this card here because these angels align. Okay, so this is interesting. This particular angel aligns with religious beliefs. Well, and it would too because it's a spiritual journey. This angel works with you against anybody that's coming at you, anybody, competition, anybody that has taken anything from you in terms of your spiritual beliefs, your morals, your code of ethics. And this particular angel keeps you through your intuition because we've got Queen of Cups here and the Queen of Cups here. Keeps you aligned by keeping you tapped into. And I guess that's the hardest bit, right? When you're on a spiritual journey and you're having things taken away from you and you're going, well, why is this happening to me? I'm doing all the right things. I'm trying my best. I'm just hitting brick walls all along the way. Knight of Pentacles. All along the way on my spiritual journey. Why is this happening to me? I can't seem to keep this candle lit. I'm constantly getting no's. And you could be, let's give an example. You could be applying for jobs. You could have done all the work, done all the university degrees, done everything like that. And you could be applying for jobs and you could keep getting no's. Well, what am I doing wrong? This particular angel is helping you stay centered in terms of the spiritual journey that these no's are encompassing, because eventually you're going to get a yes. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. You could be looking at purchasing a house or looking at purchasing an apartment. And to give you an example at the moment, we're looking at purchasing an investment property. And the right property keeps coming up, but as soon as we contact the agent, somebody's already put in an offer, competition. And it's not that we were doing anything wrong. It was literally, you just discovered this particular property, but you keep getting no's. And it's because the right property will come. The right property will, whatever is meant for you, will find you. You will magnetically almost attract it. And it could be a partner. We could be talking about a partner here. I will give you back what you lost 7-fold. But when you get it, because you've got this underlie of all these beautiful spiritual lessons that you've learnt through every no that you've got, one, you appreciate it more. There's gratitude there. But 2, you understand its true value. And somebody might see it as, I will give you back what you lost. But because you've been on a spiritual journey, and that 7 number is very, very spiritual, you see 7 additional or 6 additional gifts that lie within it because you've been on a spiritual journey. It's about not losing sight Soul Guardian for those born 6:20 a.m. to 6:40 a.m. Moral Guardian for those born the 8th of April, the 19th of June, the 30th of August, the 10th of November, and the 21st of January. And Physical Guardian for those born the 23rd to the 27th of June. Okay, let's get some cards. Do I want to use... No, I don't want to use that deck. I'm going to use this deck. Beautiful. The energy, the collective energy that we are in. Now, this Ace of Cups here in this deck, this is my Lovebirds tarot deck. This particular deck tells the story of, and it was drawn from these teacups. My grandmother, and interestingly, her birthday is in one of those dates. My grandmother gave me a set of teacups. I love blue and white china. She gave me a set of teacups and I was intrigued about the design. I'm going to go and I'll show you. There's these stupid wicks that I bought. Anyway, there's a lesson in that for me. So I've subsequently gone and sourced more of them. The original set of teacups are kept somewhere else that we don't use them, because for me they have spiritual significance. But the story on this set of teacups, Churchill, England. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just getting messages through. It was Churchill in World War II, wasn't it? 77. It's May 8th today. On May 14. This reading's going off in different tangents. On May 14 this year, in a couple of days, Israel will be 77 years old. I wonder if he was still in power when that happened. But that's that 77 number again, and aligns with, I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Things that are happening on the globals, and I know it comes through in all of my readings, but it's really important because it's part of a bigger spiritual lesson that we're all meant to be learning collectively. So you think of the horrendous amount of people that passed away in the Holocaust, and then they were given back. They were given back access to their promised land. 7-7. But if you think about this competition card here, and the Palestinian people who then welcomed them in over the 77 years, somebody has got a bigger glass. 2 brothers. Somebody's got a bigger glass. The glasses weren't even. So that's so interesting. And I've never looked at, I know that that's that brand of china, but I've never looked at that. It's called a willow tree design. Now, the story behind this particular design, and then there are many variations of it. It's 2 people, a young man, a young lady who are in love, but they're being restricted by her father. And in a bid to be together, so this is what they get. They get the short end of the straw. And in a bid to be together, because they go on a spiritual journey individually, they decide to make a break for it. They decide to make a run for it. They're being chased. They know that if they're caught, they'll lose their lives. And so God, protection and guidance on your spiritual journey, God gives them back 7 times what they lost in the fact that he turns them into a pair of birds. He turns them into a pair of birds so that they can fly away to their freedom. Now, this candle has just gone out again. I'm going to light it with that. Let's see what happens. Hopefully that will stay lit. So now They get the big candle, and the people that they are, the people who stole from them, it's her father, stole an opportunity to allow them to have a relationship. Stole their land, stole their freedom, stole their whatever's been taken from you in terms of a missed opportunity. This tiny little is about to be returned sevenfold. This is the energy in the collective at the moment. The freedom to pull in, magnetically drawn in because of the spiritual journey that you've been on, the things that you have been working so hard for, the things that you have been given the no for, you're about to get the yes for, the green light for. We've got the Nine of Cups. That's so beautiful. The Nine of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces. Pisces is a spiritual journey, and Jupiter is 777. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. 777 is 21. 3 sevens are 21, and 21 in the tarot is the World card. It's the end, karmic completion. That's too many. What's happening in the soul? Beautiful. That's the angel. That's a Temperance card. That's balance. You are balanced. Neptune in Libra. You've gone. Neptune is going down to the depths. You've gone down. We've got the Queen of Cups on both ends here. You've gone down to the depths. You've done the spiritual work. You've learned all the hard lessons through all the no's and all the pushbacks that you've got. But in doing that, you've actually got yourself into divine balance. So beautiful. What's the message from the man upstairs? The Four of Swords. That's Jupiter in Libra. So we've got Neptune in Libra. Temperance is Sagittarius and Jupiter. And this is Jupiter in Libra. You've learned the lessons. The Four of Swords comes after the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is heartbreak. All the heartbreak and all the no's, all the pushbacks that you've got that send you potentially on this spiritual journey, that was meant to send you on the spiritual journey so that you could almost position yourself. And in this particular deck, the spiritual journey that they are on is about removing anything that's toxic from their life. So she walks away from a relationship with a parent, and he walks away from a workplace. Because in part of the no's, and it may not be the no's from God. I mean, for her, it was a no from her father. No, you can't have a relationship with that person. They were different social classes. No, you can't have a relationship with that person. For him, it was a workplace. No, you can't have a relationship with my daughter. Your focus must be on work. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You don't earn enough money. All of these pushbacks all along the way. But I think it was designed to help you recognize what and who was holding you back so that you cut it out and elevate yourself. It's your spiritual work that has allowed you to have this elevation. The Ace of Pentacles. That is a new, solid, stable, new beginning. Solid, stable, balanced. Libra, Libra, Libra. Balanced. Ace of Pentacles. This foundation that you've built, I will give you back 7 times what you lost. You're getting. Because maybe this 7 times, this spiritual inheritance, physical inheritance, whatever it is, a person, maybe, well, it was, what's meant for you will always find you, but because it's so big, because it's so big. If you had have got it when you hadn't elevated yourself, you wouldn't have been able to carry it. It's like somebody who walks into the gym, who's never walked into the gym before. They're lifting tiny, tiny, tiny weights. 7 months later, they can't believe how much they can carry. It's because they've built this strength. You can now carry the weight of what you are about to receive. The King of Cups, Neptune in Pisces. You can now carry the weight of what you're about to receive. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And he aligns with, look, we've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. Okay, let's find out about this spiritual inheritance that's coming to you. And it could be simply just freedom. Yeah, look at that. It could be simply just freedom. That's the Eight of Swords. That's being trapped. It could be simply just freedom. That particular placement has been in the sky. It's Jupiter in Gemini. It's been in the sky since June last year. I just heard it's there because you were meant to be putting the final touches on this gift that you have unknowingly been on a spiritual journey to give yourself. It's actually like the divine is actually giving this gift to you, but you're getting it because of the work that you've done. The Eight of Swords changes. That placement, Jupiter in Gemini, changes on the 5th of June. Now, the 8th of June is Pentecost. It's also Shavuot, which is the Feast of Weeks, which is the Feast of First Fruits. So if you think about a tree, something that you have planted, a seed that you've planted, first fruits. You can even use that as a symbolism. You know, I bought a lemon tree a couple of years ago. And I was so frustrated because every year nothing would happen. And the lesson in that for me was that I needed to learn the art of patience, temperance. And so we got to the point where we just stopped watering it. And we're like, yeah, we bought a dud, you know, nothing's ever going to happen. And we ended up neglecting it and throwing it away, only to realize that lemon trees don't fruit in the first few years of life. They don't fruit. This is changing from Jupiter in Gemini to Jupiter. And I wanted to say Jupiter in Capricorn, which is the Two of Pentacles. Do I give up? I've got these so many no's. If it's a spiritual journey that you're on, something that you know is destined for you, don't give up, because this changes. Jupiter in Gemini changes to Jupiter in Cancer on the 6th of June. That's the 6-6 portal. 6 is about love. The number 6 is love. But Cancer is the Chariot card. It's number 7. And Jupiter is, so it'll go from Jupiter in Gemini to Jupiter in Cancer. So Jupiter is the Wheel of Fortune, which is 777. And then Jupiter in Cancer, the Chariot card, is the number 7 in the tarot. But it'll sit there for 12 months, starting in June. Beautiful. Maybe something you thought you were never going to get. Never going to get it. Never going to get it. Yeah, it's coming. Holy moly. You've got 2 Ace of Cups in the collective energy here. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Joel 2:25. It might be a relationship that's coming your way. We've got the King of Pentacles on the bottom. Whatever it is, it's stable. And it's stable because you've done the work. And whatever, this is huge. I mean, 7 times. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. It's stable now because you've done the work. You've been lifting the weights. You can carry it. physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, you can carry it. The Nine of Cups, again, is Jupiter, 777. What have we got? The Ten of Cups. This reading, we've gone from the Nine of Cups to the Ten of Cups. Why? Because you can carry it. You can carry the weight. The training wheels have come off the, yeah, look. Oh, that's the Moon in Cancer. That's disappointment. I will give you back sevenfold. Jupiter, 777. I will give you back sevenfold. The Ten of Cups, what you lost. The Four of Cups is disappointment. This is what's happening in the 3D. What's happening now. Whenever you stumble across this reading, my readings are timeless. So yes, okay, it's May 8th today. But a reading will find you at a point in time on your spiritual journey where you need to hear the messages that are within it. And maybe you're at the point of, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. I don't know where that song comes from. Maybe you're at the point of giving up. And a reading like this pops along and you go, you know what? I'm not going to give up. Something that I say makes you go, I'm not going to give up. This is meant for me. I deserve it. I've done the work. Or maybe it comes to you at a time. So, you know, that's where you're getting the no's. Maybe this reading comes to you at a time where you're like, I've done everything. I've done all the work. I've got myself elevated. What is going on? Is it me? Is it something that I'm doing? And then you find out that no, it's a placement. It's a placement in the sky at the moment. This Eight of Swords is being trapped. And swords are your mind. And so you go, oh, I never knew that Jupiter was in Gemini. And it's a being tied up. This is why nothing feels like it's moving. It's about to move. June 6th, Jupiter in Cancer. I've got this image of, you know, when you're pulling, I've never pulled back a catapult, but you know, those medieval, and they've got the big boulder, and they're like pulling it back. Takes forever because it's so heavy, and then all of a sudden, it fires. And that's perfect, actually, because maybe this big thing that you're trying to grow, little weedy you 6 months ago in the gym, wouldn't have been able to pull it back. And so every time you try to pull it back, the line broke, or I don't know anything about catapults, but you know, you just didn't have the strength, the spiritual strength, the physical strength. Now, what you're aiming for, the shot you're about to take, you're going to hit the target, or the target's going to hit you because you've elevated. No more disappointment. Let's have a look at this Temperance card. Jupiter energy. Sagittarius and Jupiter. Now, that's not meant to be, but that's come out in reverse. That's a new beginning. That, my friend, is it's sitting in the chamber ready to be fired. What? I don't know where that came from. Sitting in the chamber ready to be fired. You're being held. The divine is holding you at the moment. And it always comes through in a reading. Hold. And I think, I'm pretty sure it's in the Braveheart movie, when they're kind of lying in wait, waiting with anticipation, but it's not quite time yet. Hold. And then they charge. You can take away our land, but you can't take away our freedom. One more. Not yet. And this is maybe, you know, this mental battle that you're in. Look, we've got a little, I don't know whether you can see that. I'm seeing it from here. It's a little rainbow. Little tiny rainbow. The Page of Swords. That's the Sun in Gemini. Hold. That original drawing of that card is a page, a young man, and he's got his sword up on his shoulder. He's waiting. He's just kind of assessing the situation. He's kind of waiting in anticipation. Hold. That's actually beautiful that that card came out. The Four of Swords. Oh, I should have taken it. When I turned the deck over, it was the Eight of Cups that I saw. And I thought, oh, walking away. This is the Nine of Cups here. This is the energy of right now for you. What's happening in the 3D? Walking away from what doesn't serve you, which is how these two got transformed by the divine into a pair of birds. Walking away from what doesn't serve you because you've learned all the spiritual lessons that you needed to learn, because that's Saturn in Pisces. You've learned all the spiritual lessons that you needed to learn in order to elevate yourself. So that was sitting on the bottom. And I thought, oh, no, I'll wait, you know. And that it's come out. You've walked away from all the spiritual, you've learned all the spiritual lessons that you needed to learn, that you were meant to learn, Saturn in Capricorn, which is this period of, you know, long period of time of being no. You can't have that. Somebody taking something from you that was meant to be for you and you going, oh, well, that's not fair, you know, that sort of thing. You've learned all the lessons. You've done the healing through the heartbreak. You've walked away from what doesn't serve you, because how are you meant to, if you're holding on to all of this other stuff, how are you meant to lift this beautiful big Ace of Pentacles that the divine is about to give you through the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, these two Ace of Cups? How are you meant to lift it if you're holding on to other stuff? You actually have to release it. It's about release. It's a catapult. That's so funny, because that song, Catapult by the Counting Crows, has been coming through on repeat for, I would say, months. Months and months and months and months and months. I'll put it in the description. Any songs that I mention, I'll put in the description. Look at this. We've now got rainbows on your walking away. Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And the King of Wands. Now, in that particular deck, this one here, which is my Lovebirds Tarot deck, that is messages from the divine, giving him the strength to walk away. And what happens is he walks away, he meets her on this beautiful little bridge, and then they run away to their freedom because they've walked away, and that's when God turns him into a pair of birds. It doesn't have to be a love reading, you know. I'm just giving you all the different scenarios, and then you can just apply it how it fits. But there's something here that you have to walk away from, or that you're meant to walk away from. Queen of Cups is intuition. You've got to tap in and work out what it is. And if you've already done that and you're sitting in this hold energy, which is where your soul is at the moment, it's coming. Catapult. That kind of, you know, I'm seeing those kind of big, they're like a carriage with big wooden wheels. And the Walls of Jericho, that song actually came through yesterday, Jericho. They use those big catapults when they're trying to break into a castle. They fire those big balls up into the castle to break the walls. Something that you're trying to, something that's got you trapped. The King of Wands. Okay, so Jericho, catapult, the Nine of Wands. This is what's happening in, or the potential of what's, I was going to say what's happening in the 3D. The Knight of Wands is charging forward. But this is what's the outcome of this situation. If you get yourself to a balanced energy, you can move forward. The Knight of Wands is Mars in Sagittarius. And what's happening at the moment is the glare coming off the cards, and you're probably not seeing it, but from where I'm sitting, it's this hold energy. It's like if you're sitting at an intersection and the sun is kind of coming through and you're trying to see whether there's cars coming. It would be stupid to charge forward the Knight of Wands after all the work that you've done. There's a real divine timing. There's a real element of the perfect time will present itself to you. The Nine of Cups. Oh, this reading is beautiful. Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups. Jupiter. Jupiter in Pisces. The right time will present itself to you. Wish fulfillment. And then you'll know that you can charge. It's Three of Wands, New Horizon. Okay. Now I'm going to get a moon or 3 moons or 4 moons actually for wanting to come out there. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Joel, 225. Now what I actually learned yesterday, is that 77 in Hebrew actually means Uz, O-Z, as in the Wizard of Oz. The spiritual journey that you've been on, because the yellow brick road is symbolic of a spiritual journey. And if you think about Elphaba as a character, what she was looking for, she was looking for something. She went to see the wizard because she thought that there was some sort of mystical connection there. But she ended up getting the no. But what it actually gave her was spiritual freedom and spiritual courage. And she got this. She got this 2 birds flying in the sky because it actually elevated her to the point where she tapped into her spiritual gifts through the lessons that she'd learned and became who she was meant to be. Unleash the serene vibes of the disseminating moon and just take a big relaxing breath. Hold. Full moon in Pisces is here. Time to shake things up. There's movement coming. Full moon in Virgo. You are more than enough. Full moon in Leo. Remember to strike with confidence. It's a secret source to your success. Now that candle is still on. I'm going to do you a Nodes of Destiny card. North Node in the 2nd house. So your North Node is your point of destiny. It's your pole star. If your North Node swings by the 2nd house, get ready to unearth your deepest desires and pump up that self-worth to conquer the world. Your secret weapon, finding enchantment in life's tiny marvels. Now, if this is love, I'm going to get you a love song. We'll see what comes out here. Well, marry you, Bruno Mars. Something that is meant for you is about to find you. It doesn't have to be a relationship. I mean, obviously, if that's, what you're coming to this reading for, then that's fantastic. But it's a soul contract that you have with the man upstairs. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. It's a soul contract for something that is contractually meant for you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Best friend. Might be about friendship. Maybe you've had a rotten run with people. This year's love. I love you always forever. Maybe you had to walk away from something. So this particular song for me is relevant. And Yellow by Coldplay. I met my husband. Well, he was my friend at the time, but I met him after I had already applied and been approved and bought my tickets for a working permit when I was 21, 1,000 years on the bottom, when I was 21. And I'd done, the person that I was meant to be with had walked into my life as I had contractually signed to a part of my spiritual journey. I was meant to go overseas. I was meant to be independent. I was meant to build myself up. Your secret weapon, finding enchantment in life's tiny marvels. To pump up that self-worth. I was meant to do that. But for me, it felt like, oh, why does somebody walk into my life at the wrong time? Now, I spent 12 months overseas in my head thinking, should I go home? What if I've missed this opportunity? And of course, I came home 12 months later and we've been married for 25 years, which is a 7. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. I was a year overseas, but I got back 2 by 25. I got back 25 years of marriage. It's yeah, there's symbology in everything. Okay, let's get you some Scrabble tiles. Letters and numbers in here. It does make a little bit of noise when I shake it. If you are hearing sensitive, please just turn your volume down. I'm going to shake it in 3, 2, 1. Not a lot. We've got a K and a 5, a 1, an I and a 1, a M and a 3, an F and a 4, and an N and a 1. And finally, I'm going to get you 3 final cards. The 2 of Wands, which is Mars in Aries. That's making plans. In terms of divine timing, the divine has already set the plans in place. They've always been there, but I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Find you. I will give you 7 times back what you lost. It's in God's timing. Yeah, justice. In God's timing. Balance. Oh, my goodness, this reading. And temperance card. The angel. And the emperor on the bottom. A balanced emperor drives the chariot. The chariot is where Jupiter goes into Cancer. Emperor drives the chariot, but a balanced emperor. What you are looking for is looking for you in terms of magnetically you're drawing it to you, but through the spiritual journey that you've been on, a balanced emperor is a balance between wisdom and action. You get your first fruits, you get your spiritual enlightenment, I want to say, because June 8th is Pentecost. It's when they speak in tongues. It's the point where the Holy Spirit comes down and says, right, now go off, go out and explore the world. You've learned everything you need to learn. That's also our first fruits is the fig tree prophecy. It's something very, very prophetic about this. It's meant to happen for you this way. And the fig tree prophecy, let me just... Yeah, I did a reading ages ago on it. Revelation 6:13. And the stars of the heaven fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its late figs when it's shaken by a mighty wind. 613 commandments in the Torah. Pomegranate has 613 seeds. Jesus cursed the fig tree, a symbol of peace. Fig tree, early harvest, Passover, the 12th of April, which we've had. Second harvest is the Feast of Trumpets. Song of Songs. 613, banned imprisonment. 613 is Adam and Eve. Tell the truth. 613, Muhammad was told by God to speak his truth about Islam. Pomegranate. Purim, Muslim, caterpillar, unlocking. So this is a rebirth. God is Aboriginal. Hold the door. Banned on the run. Now you think about hold the door. I think about Hodor in I think about Hodor. He held the door for Bran, but sacrificed himself. Band on the Run, 570. Earthquakes Trust, TikTok, Lupus, Oz, Release the Past, and Green Curtain. Well, the Green Curtain is the Wizard of Oz, the spiritual journey that you've been on. The Yellow Brick Road. This is so beautiful. And that candle's still alight. There you go. All the best on this journey. I will give you back 7 times what you lost. Joel 2:25. Spiritual inheritance. It's coming for you. Any of the songs that I listed, any of the songs that I mentioned will be listed in the description. If you call to any of the decks that I used in this reading, I'm an illustrator, so they are my own designs. The links to those can also be found in the description box. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If the reading resonated with you, please give it a like. As I said, all the best on this journey, and I will see you in another reading.